Hello, good morning. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Right. So today I'm giving you some input about the use of literary devices. And also I'm going to give you an analysis about the use of the poem called Eagle, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Right. Here, one by one, we are learning about the use of poetic devices. The first poetic device I am here introducing you is simile. What is simile really? Simile, we are using it for comparing something. It is a use of comparison.
Yes.
Using like and as. We use particular words like or as. For example, can you read the example?
She floated in like a cloud.
Second one.
It's as cool as the backside of the pillow. The students were busy as bees.
So these are here in this example, you can notify the word like and as. So you can easily identify it is a use of simile. Here are some other examples. Can you read number one?
Somebody walks like a lion.
Second one.
Rasuni runs as a horse.
Here you can notify the word like and as. So these are the words mostly used to show the figurative language called simile. Simile is one of the poetic device. It is used to compare one with another. A particular action of an animal or particular action of some other people can be compared with another. Here, Sumudu walks like a lion. Sumudu's walking is smart. So the particular action here is walks. So his walks is compared to lion. So the common factor that you derive is smartness. Sumudu walks like a lion. Here the smartness and royalty. Smartness and royalty. Rasuni runs as a horse. Here the common factor is fast. Okay.
Okay.
You can see or notify simile in some poems. To the Nile is one of the poem. Here you can see green rushes like our rivers. Green rushes like our rivers. Here you can notify the use of simile in the poem. I'm not going to touch this poem, but I am taking some example for the use of simile. Green rushes like our rivers is a use of simile, right?
Yes.
Another poem called A Bird Came Down the Walk, written by Emily Dickinson. There you can also see the poetic device called simile. Here they look like frightened beads. They looked like frightened beads. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a use of simile. Here you can notify the use of simile in the poems To the Nile, written by John Keats. Green rushes like a rivers. What is it? Why is it a simile? Because the river Nile is treated as a water body. The poet wanted to add terrestrial beauty to the river Nile. Terrestrial means worldly beauty. Worldly beauty means that is really a material. When I'm discussing about the poem, then I will share you some ideas about terrestrial and celestial beauty. Only then you will have a clear-cut idea about it. Here, what you want to understand is that this is use of simile. Okay. Next one, in the poem, a bird came down the walk, written by Emily Dickinson. Here, they looked like frightened beasts. Here, the bird was really embraced and disturbed by the offer given by the man. To display its feeling, the writer intelligently uses this simile along with colorful imagery. Another example for the use of simile from the same poem, A Bird Came Down the Walk, written by Emily Dickinson. Here he stirred his velvet head like one in danger, cautious. Here the bird's behavior is vividly portrayed by the use of simile. Here you can find out something from the poem Eagle that we have been discussing, right?
Yeah.
Right. Can you read the poem?
He clasped the crack with crooked hands, close to the sun in lowly lands. Ringed with the assured world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls.
So the poem written by Alfred Lord Tennyson, can you find out the simile used here?
Yeah, like a thunderbolt he falls.
Excellent. Right. Yeah, another poem that also given in the syllabus, The War is Kind, written by Stephen Crane. Here, I can show you an example for the use of simile in the final stanza. Can you read the mother whose heart hung? Can you read the line?
Mother whose heart hung humble as a button on the bright, splendid shroud of your son. Do not weep, war is kind.
Right. So mother whose heart hung humble as a button. Here, as a button, here again, the simile used here in this poem, right?
Yeah.
You can see here the poem from the poem Eagle, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Here the simile is like a thunderbolt, he falls. The poet wants to display the unbeatable power of the bird eagle. So he wanted to make eagle have the power of thunderbolts. The destructive nature of the bird is vividly portrayed. So the common factor is destructive nature. How thunderbolt is destructive, the same with eagle's behavior. In the poem War is Kind, written by Stephen Crane, here you can find out the example, mother whose heart hung humble as a button. The button that hangs from the shroud shows its desperation and the helplessness. The mother's plight is also seen to be the button. The shroud is essential for the survival of the button. Likewise, the mother's survival depends on her son's life. Here, the common factor is helplessness. Her life is in between the whether I live or die, right? I'm giving my example and elaboration while I am providing one session about what is kind. But here I am focusing only giving an input about understanding the simile from the poem given for the syllabus, right? Here you can see simile versus metaphor. Can you read these notes? Simile and metaphor.
Simile compares two different things. Something is like or as something else. For example, he was as quiet as a mouse. She swam like a fish. Metaphor compares two different things. Something is something else. For example, Ali is a walking dictionary. Time is money.
So here, big difference between simile and metaphor. Here you can see she swam like a fish. The swimming is the action that has been compared. The particular action has been compared. Here, time is money mean money is equal to time is equal to money. So here, time is figurated as money is figurated as time. Ali is a walking dictionary. Here, Ali is the person who has a lot of knowledge and dictions and word vocabulary a lot. And he knows how to pronounce the words. So we figurate Ali as a dictionary. So the metaphor is we are figurating something, some characteristic, the total characteristic of something to a person or another thing. Right? So these are the very important differences between simile and metaphor. Do you understand? If you have any question, you can ask me now.
I understand.
Okay, very good. Here, some examples to bring some light for your understanding about the use of simile and metaphor. Can you read once while you are reading one example from simile, one example from metaphor? One example from simile, one example from metaphor. You can. Now you start.
Her heart is like gold. Her heart is gold. The world is like a stage. The world is a stage. He eats like a pig. He is a pig. You are like a rock. You are a rock. Your eyes are like sunshine. You are my sunshine.
So these are the examples that give you evidence for you to understand vividly about the use of simile and metaphor. Her heart is like a gold. Her heart is like gold. But here, her heart is gold. So here, heart is totally figurated as a gold. But here, heart is like a gold. Here, the common factor is her heart is very nice. Very nice mean good-natured man. Or she is a good-natured girl. So that we are, her heart is very precious. Very precious. Precious mean very cost. Cost mean we can't give value for her behavior. Right? Gold is very much valuable thing. How far it is valuable, her heart is also the valuable. Right? For that, we are telling her heart is like a like gold. But here her heart is gold mean gold is equal to heart, heart is equal to gold. Gold. The heart is figurated as gold. So what here you have to, what are the common factor? You can find out from the gold, the eliminating, everlasting elimination, valuable, right, respectable, it is ceremonial. So her heart also the same. Another example, he eats like a pig. Here he is a pig. Here only one acts. For example, Roshan. Roshan eats like a pig. his activity eats seems to be a pig's activity. But here, the pig's total characteristic is figurated into he. Pig always goes to the muddy water. The person also do the same. He is very much dirty man. So that we are calling him as a pig. So the pig's total characteristic is inserted into the frame he. He is a boy. So I think these are two examples I'm elaborating. Just like you have to understand the differences and similarities between similes and metaphors. The similarity in itself, I can say both of them are comparisons. Both of them are comparisons, okay? Hyperbole. Hyperbole, I already told you, it's a figurative language in which exaggeration is used for emphasis or effect. That is an extreme exaggeration. Like a thunderbolt, he falls. That is an extreme exaggeration. Here, there are some other examples for the use of hyperbole. Can you read?
I could sleep for a year. This book weighs a ton.
How can a book weigh a ton? Because I understood the book has valuable information. So that I am giving a weight for a small book. And I could sleep for a year. Is it possible for a man to sleep for a year without sleeping for a year? No. So this is really an exaggeration for some situations to bring some meaning more bright. Next one, you are going to understand what is imagery. It creates a picture in the reader's mind by making the reader see, hear, taste, smell, or touch. For example, you can say, I found a beautiful big flower. Its petals were very soft. So once you're using the petals were very soft, then I feel like touching some soft items. So that brings the reader's mind the imagery, right? If I say, wow, what a nice smell, the next door, they are frying an egg. Then while I'm hearing the sentence, they are frying an egg, then I can also feel something smelling egg. And also, wow, what a strawberry and chocolate ice cream I tasted yesterday. While we are listening to this kind of sentences, then you also feel like eating something. So those are the ample evidence for you to understand about imagery. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Types of imagery here. Imagery for sight. Can you read one by one?
Sight. The tiny red ant climbed up the broken tree. Smell. The sweet smell of freshly baked apple filled the air. Taste. One bite of the sour lemon caused my lips to pucker. Sound. The car squeaked every time I hit a bump in the road. Touch. The sharp edge of the paper cut my finger and made it sting.
So these are some example for giving you some idea about the use of imagery. Okay. Any doubts for you? Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Here, archaic language. Archaic language you can understand as words and phrases no longer in common use. Example, these kind of words and sentences were used in palace, king's palace, or else to address the god. Ancient English. Example, thee. Thee mean you. Thee, you. This is objective you. Thou, subjective you. If you want to say I love you, you can say I love thee. I love thee. Thee mean I love you. You love me. Thou love me. Thou love me. Thou mean here you subjective position. Thy handwriting is very beautiful. Wow, what a nice handwriting. It's very legible and neat. Thy mean you are. Shall. I shalt go to Colombo tomorrow. Shalt is equal to shall. Here didst, and abide, live. These are some examples for the use of archaic language, that these language are being used in some poems, and also those kind of poems you can read, especially in nature poems. Those are available. When we learn this kind of some poems that are given in your syllabus, where I can give you some of the examples, but now you have to understand there is a poetic device called archaic language. Now, personification. Can you read what is personification? Can you read?
A figurative language that attributes human characteristics, emotion, and behavior to animals and inanimate object or idea.
You can continue. Examples.
Oh. The clumsy turtle enjoys the sun. Death robbed her of the chance at happiness. You can hear the trees whisper in the dark. The stars dance in the midnight sky.
So here are some examples for the use of personification. That means you personify an animal. You can, for example, he clasped the crack with crooked hands. One example from the poem called Eagle. There the writer calls eagle as he. That can be ample evidence for you for the use of personification. Now you can learn the use of oxymoron. Oxymoron is the use of figurative speech in which two opposite ideas are joined to create an effect. This is a combination of two contradictory or opposite words. Example, a tragic comedy. How can a tragic event become comedy? Original copies. How can original become copies? Seriously funny. How can serious become funny? So these are some examples for the use of oxymoron. Two opposite words are joining together to bring some feeling or else some emotion. Okay?
Yeah.
Some examples. Can you read some examples?
Known secret, orderly confusion, deafening silence, confirmed rumor, awfully nice.
Deafening silence. Deafening silence.
Silent.
How can silence deafening? There is no sound. So the deafening silence, that means if there is a silence that you do not like, you are expecting someone to speak, but no one is speaking, then you can say deafening silence to express the hatredness of the situation, right? Awful is very bad. How can it become nice? Awfully nice. So these are the examples for the use of oxymoron. Why you use oxymoron? To create an irony sense of humor. To create an irony sense of humor. To emphasize certain qualities or ideas, or else to confuse the readers, right? Next, juxtaposition that I already told you from the poem, The Eagle, is a poetic and rhetorical device in which normally unassociated ideas, words, or phrases are placed next to one another. Light and dark images. What are the difference between oxymoron and juxtaposition? Here, juxtaposition bring one word in between them. Light, dark. Light, dark is the use of oxymoron, but light and dark images, that is the use of juxtaposition. Death, life is the use of oxymoron. Death, life is the use of oxymoron, but life and death is the use of juxtaposition. Cold, hot is a use of oxymoron, but cold and hot can be taken as a use of juxtaposition. Any doubt?
Yes.
Right. Alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of at least two words in a line of poetry. Here, example. Before going into examples, you can find out why alliterations are used to bring out emotion, mood, and to give a good rhythm to the poems or songs. Example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pepper. Sorry. Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. So pa 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 sound. So pa sound is the use of consonant sound, right? So this is the use of alliteration that gives a good rhythm. We lurk late, la la sound. Here we shoot straight, sa sound. So these are the use of alliteration here. Hereafter you can identify alliteration can be understood by you as the repetition of consonant sounds in each words. Any doubts?
No.
Assonance. If alliteration is the use of repetition of consonant sound, assonance mean the repetition of vowel sounds. It can occur at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. Okay? Here you can see fumbling, clumsy, stumbling. R sound is repeated. Can you read the purposes of using assonance?
Okay. To create an emotion, tone, attitude, to mimic the sound of an aspect of content, to link and reinforce ideas, such as in the example above.
Right, great. Next one. Onomatopoeia expression. Onomatopoeia expression mean a word that imitates a sound it represents. Splash. Splash mean the how the water is splashed, right? The sound bring the meaning of the word. Bang, the blasting sound. Broken something. Pop, pop, popping sound bring the meaning. So this can be taken as the use of onomatopoeia. I can give you some more examples from the poems that we are going to learn. Now we are reading the poem, The Eagle, right? Can you read the poem again?
The eagle. He clasps the cracked with crooked hands. Close to the sun in lonely lands, ringed with a sure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls.
Yeah, we can find out the example for the use of eagle here, how he clasps the crack. You can see here the water, you can see, right? And then the eagle, he clasps the crack with crooked hands. Here, these are the hands, crooked hands. And also, crack mean tightly hold, right? The rock. And then close to the sun in the lonely land. Here, he goes closer, but the sun doesn't burn the bird. Ringed with the astral world. Yes, astral world mean the sky. Sky is blue sky. So he is stretching his hands widely. That shows this is my own territory. No one should enter. Right? This is my own one, own land, own kingdom I created. So that I'm the king, so that I'm going around everywhere. There is no distraction for me. Those are the messages that you can get from the line and with the picture. So the authoritative power, the eagle has the authoritative power. Here the sea doesn't bring the big waves and it wriggles just like a baby because the eagle's kingdom is on the top of the mountain that lies inside the sea because the mountain hasn't been defeated by the seawater for a long time. At the same time, the sea water is under the mountain. The mountain is under the kingdom of the eagle. So both of them are the slaves of the eagle. So eagle exceeded the power of both sea and land. The bird exceeded the hydraulic power. The bird exceeded the power of the land and ruled the land. So everything comes under the feet of the bird. So the writer intelligently uses the juxtaposition to prove the eagle's extraordinary power and its physical force to bring everything under his control. And then he watches from the mountain wall. Why is he watching? Because if something available there, you can see. And then like a thunderbolt, how the thunderbolt falls, the destruction happen. Just like the same, the eagle come down here, the animal's destruction is also happen. So the writer is very much successful in installing the power of fire into the bird's frame to tell the eagle has very dangerous, destructive nature and power. So writer is very much succeeded in portraying eagle has authoritative, unbeatable, destructive power by saying eagle, by proving eagle as unbeatable, a powerful element. No one can destroy, no one can defeat. So thus, you can say eagle represent the nature. If eagle is powerful, it is equal to it. This quality can be transferred to the existence of the nature. Nature is powerful. Can you read the question and answers?
Yes. What does he really want to say? The writer wanted to appreciate the nature, so he selected eagle as a part of nature. Therefore, the writer has to prove that the eagle is something special. Eagle has unbeatable authoritative
Authoritative power.
power.
Can you read the next question?
How does the writer succeed in displaying the extraordinary power of the eagle? He gives human attribute